Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Where is my swag? There you go. Comment, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. YouTube was really weird the other day. What was that? Really weird the other day about the super chats. Wouldn't let people do it. Sorry. So we're going to go and we're going to start off with OMI today, and then we are going to go on to Veve and all the other stuff that is concerning it. Some of you may or may not know, I have been looking in order to buy a bulk sale of OMI because there are, well, one, obviously I think it's really undervalued. Two, I'm finally about to have access to a little bit of money over the next couple days, next week or so, in order to buy significant amounts. If anybody knows anyone that's just just completely done with the token, they're done with Veve, and I do have a message about that, let me know, and I'll get to the message in a second. Currently down 2.2% on the day. OMI is $192,000 in volume. That is the lowest volume I think I've ever seen on the token, like ever. So obviously, yeah, it is down, not a lot of trading. There are obviously a little bit more people that are selling, or at least more volume of selling than there is on that buying, but damn, that is, whew, I think that's the lowest volume I've ever seen on that. That is what, 300 million OMI, a little bit more, give or take. It's 302 million OMI. That somebody could just purchase it, and just like that. But again, obviously, if you put 192,000 all at once, it's going to pump the price, I don't know, like 40%, give or take. But yeah, I was messaging a couple people to see if they knew, and somebody, now this one person, happened to go and just say, oh yeah, I don't really, I'm not going to sell for that, but I also know the couple people that I did know that I did get into it, they did all go and they sold their OMI and they left Veve. I don't know the type of people that this person had brought in, assuming a decent amount. Let's say they all had 10 or tens of millions of OMI. Not a ton altogether, maybe, yeah, sure, that could have equaled 100 or a couple hundred million. But and I know that sounds really like bearish, sounds like, oh, well, they left. How, and if you could, play those dominoes out, how much longer until everybody else starts to sell their OMI? I hope that would happen soon so I can just get at a cheaper price. But what I really think is going to happen is over the next couple months, when we get OMI to NFT, we get OMI to bronze tickets, we get a little bit of marketing, we get a little bit of, because again, it's not just Veve that's going to be doing that marketing. The marketing is going to come from other places as well. Just a lot of the partnerships, a lot of the licensors as well. Because I mean, if I'm an artist, let's say I'm a decon artist, and I have, 10,000 people that, followers on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and, let's say 200 of those people, 2%, they're just like pure fans of me and my art. And I'm like, hey, go buy this. Here's my new piece of art. They're going to go buy that. And even if it's just for that specific artist, they'll go and take a look at a couple of other things. They'll take a look at the, oh, hey, there's Mickey Mouse signature. We'll get to signatures in a little bit. But anyway, I think it's just going to be other companies that are going to be promoting for Veve, and that's where the bulk of the marketing is going to come, outside of whatever they have for the ambassador program. And if they just launch that referral code, they just do that, they have hundreds of millions of dollars coming in just from that. Anyway, but that is what I see happening. I see as that just goes and kind of takes off, all those people that had left, that had tens of millions of OMI or more, that had a bunch of Veve and left, they're likely going to come back. We've kind of already seen that already with a couple of people that said, hey, I'm done, I'm gone, moving on to other stuff. And then slowly but surely kind of posts come back, kind of buying comes back, just for stuff that they like, and that's how it starts. Again, that's just my opinion. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'm able to buy a butt ton of OMI. I'll keep you all posted with that. But how that compares to the rest of the markets, well, let's take a look-see here. I'll go over a little bit of my portfolio at the end of the video. For those that don't want to really care, you could click off when I start talking about that. Bitcoin's still down about 1.7%, Ethereum down 1.2%, but we actually have BNB, which is flat, and Solana is actually up 2.2%. Lido Stake down 1%, XRP up 1%, Dogecoin down 2%, Tomcoin up like 0.5%, but it does seem there's actually a little bit of green mixed in with these, what was once yesterday, just massive, massive red, really over the last couple days. So, I mean, if you take a look at the oil markets, you could see, oh, hey, they're really not going down that much. So the markets don't really think that there's going to be this World War III scenario, despite what big major fudders and big major bears will have you believe, saying, oh, Iran's going to have a nuke. Be advised, they've been talking about that for like at least 25 years. Papers and propaganda have said Iran's about to have a nuke within the next year or so. I think the only way they'd be able to get that is if they get like kind of like a Soviet era nuke off like the black market, which who knows if it would even work. I mean, I guess if you had to go and guess you have to salt it and then get... anyway, I don't want to go over that. If the world and the markets really thought this was going to be a big World War III event, you'd probably see the oil markets just go... and they're not. They're kind of staying where they are right now. So, you know, yeah. So, like Rain says, if there's not a World War III, then he would really likely bet along the sides of Ecomi, which he is doing. He is getting more all the time. Speaking of which, I will be live with him tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with Dr. Stuff, just called OMI is my homie. It's just going to be a more OMI-specific, roundtable. And then obviously we'll address some of the other FUD, some of the other stuff, whatever. But yeah, speaking of FUD, it is not just Veve that be having the FUD. And I understand, oh, hey, there's, some vault values are going down and some collectibles are going down just because, again, there's not a ton. I think there's maybe about 17,000 active accounts that were active last week. Many of which for Wolverine and Spider-Man and stuff, but over the last week that has been, it's pretty nice for just for a week's worth. That information does come from Stacker, but it just seems like things are consolidating, like getting out of the stuff that maybe people don't really like, collecting what they do like, or stuff that they think maybe they like but they know won't go up on an ROI. Like, for example, I love Bigfoot. I love all of those Cryptkins things. I just don't expect them to go really high. I have all of them. I'm not selling them. But again, that's just my my thing. Give me an entire set of Cryptkins or give me like one Superman. I'm sure that Superman's going to do leagues better than any of those Cryptkins. But again, that's just my opinion. Yeah, so that's what I think people are doing, taking stuff that likely won't run, and then they'll put it into the blue chip stuff. They'll put it into the Vaders, the Spider-Man, the partner statue. I don't have any of those. I mean, I guess I do have a couple Spider-Man. Anywho, moving on. But yeah, that FUD is all within like the Bored Ape Yacht Club community. That's all, even like the Pokemon community, and we'll get into that right now. I was just talking with a buddy of mine. So about a week ago, PSA decided to go and fire their one Pokemon guy. The Pokemon guy that goes and determines, oh, okay, here's what this card should be worth. Here's the signature. This is authenticated like really well. You have video of it. You have, I know this card because I follow the, I follow the trends and I follow what's going on YouTube and on eBay. And I was once a really big part of that. But yeah, they fired him and they're not hiring anyone else. Chavez, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I mean, if you pay attention to the news and some of my videos, you see that, okay, eBay did enter a partnership with them. It was with collectors that acquire Golden. And again, they just happen to have, it's the parent company of the professional sports authenticators. And maybe it has something to do with that. And maybe eBay is going to have another partnership soon. I just can't quite put my finger on where they would have a partnership. Anyway, we take a look at signatures. This is something that Veve already has. We have the Mickey Mouse signature. We have the Fantastic Four signatures. There's probably a couple of other signatures that I'm kind of forgetting right now, but at least we know we have them. The lenticular cards, I have those as well. Anyway, the signatures tend to be really big over with Disney. But why am I talking about that? Because now you have people that go, let's say in Pokemon, that go to these Worlds events, that go to these signing events. Arita is really just big with signing. He's the one that did the original Charizard, not the first edition Charizard that everybody knows and loves. And yeah, people have video of artists signing their cards and they're not getting approved. Why does this matter? Why is Pokemon getting fed up? Why are Pokemon fans getting all crazy with this? Just because you ever see Space Jam, where in that little dream where Danny DeVito's version of the alien goes and talks to Michael Jordan like, you'll be playing one-on-one with our guests and you'll always lose because he's in chains. He's not able to go and defend against the people that are putting the ball in the net. He just wants to make him part of that attraction. But he's in chains the same way like those Pokemon artists are in chains. They're really not able to go in. And so, because even though Mitsuhiro Arita and Ken Sugimori just absolutely, well, I mean, Arita, he will sign anything, but he just doesn't have the rights to Charizard, even though he is the artist, or at least a artist for Charizard. Same with Ken Sugimori, same with a bunch of these artists. But, you know, Mickey Mouse, we already have the Mickey Mouse signature. We already have the whatever is on the lenticular cards as well. We have the Pluto, the Donald, the Daisy. We have all of their signatures, including Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. So we have those because they're just characters. Are we going to get the people that played them? Let's say like a Chris Evans, not even Chris Evans Captain America, Chris Evans Johnny Storm. Oh, God, those movies are awful. But maybe, maybe not. But right now, a lot of the IP, we can get those signatures on. And yeah, Veve might have a couple of those, and they will get other stuff in the future, but they can dominate with that. Once you have that, that's it. It's no like authentication process where you have to go to this event to get it signed, and then you have to, once you do that, you have to go and package it up all nicey nice, and then you have to go and send it off to PSA or Beckett or whoever, or CGC or whoever, and then wait like a year to get it back. Like you can go send that off, you can meet a girl, get pregnant, get married, have that kid all before that Pokemon card or whatever artist card comes back at you. Veve, it's going to be very, very simple. Maybe you have a couple of people that have to travel over to New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, maybe they go to different parts of the world. But for the most part, it'll be pretty easy to get those signatures when they come out with that. We'll have David explain that further in the future. Just be advised, a lot of these things do take years to come across. Like for Alibaba, they were negotiating with them back in early 2022. And then they kind of semi-soft announced it last year with David, with the memorandum. And then they hopefully might officially, from the Veve account, go and do that this year as well. But just letting you guys know, it does take years for a lot of these things to happen. So just don't expect it right away. So I find out, remember yesterday when I had posted, hey, Mr. 41 had sold a secret rare Spider-Man. Shout out to Captain Kirk for picking that up. But why did Mr. 41 sell? I posed the question, excuse me, yesterday. Well, he had happened to buy 2 Ecomi secret rare logos. Not just one, but 2. And I do have a lot of other people that are asking me, Chavez, that secret rare Ecomi logo, do you think that's going to be as big, if not bigger, than the gold and silver Veve logo? And the short answer is probably not, but the long answer I'll give you right now. There are less of the Veve secret rare logos, just because there was only supposed to be 500 of them. Obviously, the first 40 are kept, and then another 50 on top of that. And they also didn't finish handing out all those cards. And some of the cards that they did were just lost forever. They were tore up. People forgot about them. People didn't know what it was. Because at first, they did give them to just random people. And then after like that first event, it kind of evolved to say like, hey, we're only going to give it to people that are either master collectors, or we're only going to give it to people that are influential in the community. I think Lomit Mick wants O'Milly Tees to go and get one of those. I think there's a campaign for that over on Twitter. But there's just a lot less of the Veve secret rares, and it has currently a lot more utility. There are 577 people that got the Ecomi secret rare logos, and they're just a lot easier to stack. Like Mr. 41 got 2 of those for like $1,000. Like you would have to. All right, what are your choices? Your choices are 5 Ecomi secret rare logos or 1 Veve secret rare gold and silver logo, and it's a lot easier to stack. So multiple people have more of those. So you're not going to get as big of a group like the gold and silver logo group. Let me check that. That gold and silver logo group has been around for almost 2 years, and it has 222 members, whereas the Ecomi secret rare logo group, that one, I can't even find it right now. Oh yeah, here we go. But that one has been around for less than a week and has 205 members. It's just because it's a lot easier to get in there. And again, no utility announced now, so people want to kind of get in before that major utility is announced. The only utility that we have right now is at these events. There will be a special party, and at those events, I'll give away some OMI. Some people will give away some Ecomi signs, etc. But the real utility from David and the team is yet to come. We have Make It 85 saying, these down prices couldn't come at a better time for me. One of my other investments is about to come in, and I will 100%. They're going to go buy 200 million OMI. I do think some of that will find its way into the Veve ecosystem. Because again, let's say he gets 200 million OMI. Let's say it's about $120,000 right now. In the next couple of months, as that becomes, let's say it just doubles to an appropriate price of 0012, and suddenly he doesn't have $120,000 worth of OMI. He has almost $250,000 worth of OMI. A doubling would be 240. Then suddenly, oh, hey, I can go off and I could spend $60,000 worth of OMI and still have another $60,000 in profit that I can go and take out and that I can go and just play with house money at that point. Where do you think that's going to go? It's going to be super easy for him to go and buy all of the stuff on Veve, sweep a ton of the floors. There's going to be a lot of arbitrage with that as well. That evil Deadpool did release, like that Deadpool comic that just came out. Again, if you don't want to buy it from the store, that's 100% okay. Just buy, I think I bought it for $1.65 over on the secondary. It's filled with cursing, it's filled with vulgarity, and it's filled with amazing adult scenarios that I just love. Gotta love Deadpool. Comment down below. Love you, Deadpool. Viz Media had gone on and reported manga and Marvel fans assemble, read some new spectacular Marvel series in the Viz manga app, download today. So again, you're able to go and read a couple of different Marvel books as well as a couple of different mangas over in that Viz Media app. And it's like, Chavez, are you advertising for another company? Like, what is that going on with? Not exactly. It's just Viz Media. I'm not 100% sure how big they are. They have 480,000 likes over on their Facebook. I'm not sure about Twitter, Instagram, whatever. But whatever gets people to go on and onboard onto digital, it's like Rocky 2. When Apollo's talking to his trainer and be like, I want you to embarrass him. I want you to go and make him look like the bad guy. Try to humiliate him, talking about Rocky because he wants to get him back in the ring. And then his trainer says, you do realize if you do this, you're setting yourself up as the bad guy. And then Apollo just says, look, man, whatever gets him in the ring. So for me, whatever gets people into digital collecting, I'm all for it. Again, there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of space for more than one company. And obviously, I don't really see these guys as a threat at all to Veve just because, yeah, they have a ton of followers, but none of these are NFTs. They're just another way to read and just a way to onboard the digital people. So I did watch the first episode of Fallout the other day. If you didn't know, the brother that's in Fallout is actually the kid from Hannah Montana. I thought that was really cool. But what I noticed when I started watching, it's in cooperation with MGM Studios, which we have. So I'm kind of hoping we get a Fallout. There's a ton of fans out there. The show, it wasn't for me, but it got like a 4.6 out of 5 stars over on Amazon. And just because it's such a major popular show, like I remember years ago where a bunch of my friends were not voting in the 2012 election because the new Fallout game was coming. How heckin' wild is that? I think that was the first election that a lot of my friends were able to vote in. And there's like, yeah, the new Fallout game's out, so I'm not going to do that. I think they might have done that every X amount of years. So it's just a really huge fandom, and I just hope we get it. Also, I mentioned Bigfoot before with Cryptkins, and I was trying to watch a documentary before, but then one of the searches came up, Bigfoot Nicki Minaj. So I guess she happened to have a song with that. Speaking of which, music. When Nicki Minaj? When Taylor Swift? When Beatles? When Green Day? My Collectibles is super grateful after getting that job as the Veve community manager. He goes and says, a huge thank you to everyone for your super kind messages and support. Every single message has meant the world to me. Now it's time to get to work. Stay tuned. David going and responding with his hearts. Not the only thing that he responded to either. I guess this will be one of the last things I talk about before I go over my portfolio is Low Mint Mick says, I'm bored, Veve official. Tell me we have some excitement coming soon. Sincerely, Bored Mini Whale. And David Yu responds with a magic wand and a top hat. So you had a bunch of people going on and playing detective saying, okay, what happens with a wand? What happens with a magic hat? So a lot of people really were speculating Harry Potter and the sorting hat. Some people were speculating maybe it's not a wand, but maybe like a magical cane that you could use with some type of top hat. So maybe like a Lord of the Rings, like Gandalf the Grey or Saruman the White, or even Gandalf the White. There are two of them actually. Willy Wonka was something because he has a top hat and a cane. Yeah, I really don't know what else it could be. Comment down below all of your favorite fan theories. There is a bunch of other news. I will have to go and save that for something else. But right now, we'll get to the Chavez portfolio. I had gone on yesterday, and I had purchased a bit more flow. I know people are probably tired of me talking about that, but as money comes in, that's just one of the things that I like to go and get. So the flow, even though I have 112,000 flow, it's still not worth $100,000, about 97, just because it's down so much. I was able to get a bunch of these at like 80 something cents. So I'll go right now and take a look at it and let y'all know. I do think it was, yeah, it's number 74. It's at 86 cents right now, and it could go here nor there, you know, whatever. The rest of the things, I did get a little bit of Senate. I did get a little bit of Devi, so you could see that right there. You could see the bumper and then see the Ecomi that I have. And then obviously a ton of Definity as well. Obviously everything's down right now just because of the situation with Iran, Israel, and potentially Russia and the US and everything else. But I do think that'll clear up soon. Anyway, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everybody say, is Dashy going to come back? He will. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow, meow.